Waited almost 30 years to see my dad, that it just took me like opening a door to see him. I'm a child from a US military dad, and I was born and raised in Germany, but my dad went back to the States before I was born. I saw my dad for the very first time after 28 years that I have never seen my dad before. This definitely completely changed my life.
If the stars fell
Some people told me this story is just super crazy and unreal, and it seems like from a movie, and I need to write a book about it. I want to cover today how it was like to see my dad for the very first time, how I found my dad, and how's the connection right now. So I was covering some questions I got through at my travels, but also like on Instagram, like a lot of people ask me, and throughout discovering my own roots and talking to friends and other family members, I recognized there is such a big father wound that the father wasn't around for most of the people I know, and most of the people don't even have a really good or close connection to their dad, and I was really shocked by that. I thought the story about not knowing the dad and dad from the military is like a past generation issue, but it doesn't seem like it. So the first question I find super weird that people ask me how it was like to see my dad for the very first time. Obviously it was super weird. So I was super nervous like the years and months before that, and when I was in the airplane and going more like closer to the United States, I felt like super calm inside, and I felt like this feeling of this is right what I'm doing here. I had the feeling of feeling home and going home in a way. But I grabbed my bag and went through like a really small door, and then someone was kind of like coming like close to me and hugging me. It's like, ah, hey Olivia. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my dad. Everything was like super fast, not emotionally. It just kind of like, it felt natural. I think I was actually just in a big shock to waited almost 30 years to see my dad, that it just took me like opening a door to see him. We kind of talked about our lives, we spent time together and just slowly getting to know each other. When I was with my dad, I found out even more that I have a huge family in the United States. Like my biggest wish to have a big family, because I was always a family person and I always wanted to have like a big family. Question number 2, how did I find my dad? So because my dad was in the military, there's like a personal record website where I was able to send a request, and so I was sending them a request because I had the name of my dad. I got a letter back and I got like all the information from my dad, more specific ones, a picture. But with all the other information that I got, I was able to like kind of like Google him and found like an email address and a phone number. So I was texting an email saying, hi, my name is Olivia. I live in Germany and I've been looking for my dad for blah blah this amount of time. I think you are my dad. Let me know if this is the case. So this was basically it. It happened through an email. So really quick my dad was responding and we kept in touch. We Skyped, we talked to each other, get to know each other, and this big search stopped. Last year in the summer I felt okay, I don't want to postpone anything in my life anymore. I knew Germany isn't my home. I never felt home. I was living in a city where I actually didn't want to live. I was working a job that I hated, to be honest. I decided I will go traveling and spend a few months in the United States to see family, not only my dad, like also other family members. Yeah, just a friend gave me like a big push because I was postponing this throughout the whole summer, and she was like, "What are you waiting for? It is time." And I was like, "Okay, you're right." So I quit my job, I quit my apartment, I sold like a lot of stuff that I have savings to be able to travel. It was really like, I felt like a tree who was finally were able to get the roots in the ground and to have a base, a foundation that I never felt in Germany. When I came to the United States and saw my dad, like everything for me shifted. Everything changed. Okay, here comes like question number 3. How's my connection to my dad and how is it like now? Super like felt like easy peasy getting in touch with my dad. He wants to get to know me. He was super happy when I reached out, like at the first time with him kind of went off, and I just felt like there's just so much more connection and trust needed that we can create a foundation for our relationship, and that it's just not done with meeting my dad and then everything changed. So this was like a big reality that I was facing, and that kind of led me to, again, frustration and sadness. As I mentioned, I never really felt home in Germany, and yeah, getting in touch with my dad and with my roots, I really felt like, okay, this huge distance that is between us feels like it just makes everything like more complicated. Okay, to round everything up, what did it really change within myself making this step? And how do I see myself now? As I told you before, I felt like a rooted tree. This feeling that I never felt. I felt like my roots in Germany were never able to go into the soil. I was moving a lot in Germany and I never felt like I belong there, and I never felt like I'm able to create a life there, because always in my back I had the feeling, okay, America, this is my home, this is where I belong. From my heart to yours, much love. Bye bye.
No, go the voicemail instead. You laugh 'cause you think this is funny, but it matters to me. I can hear it in the way